Es bicampeón del fútbol mexicano. Convincente con un fútbol extraordinario. El rey de las
León es campeón del fútbol mexicano en el año 76 de su fundación. El Club León have won the CONCACAF Champions League.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Lions Den podcast. Louis, new season. We're here back. The start of Apertura 23. Lots to talk about. We took a couple weeks of break, but now we are back in action because it was a quick turnaround. So much that is ahead of us. So we're here to talk about everything ahead of what Club León has in store. Everybody listening to us via Periscope on Twitter and YouTube. Hello, thank you for joining. Feel free to comment anything you like to say, anything in your mind, anything you have to say about the club, or anything, how you felt. Obviously, our first topic will be CCL. Please let us know. We'll definitely share your comments on the screen. Loads to talk about, guys. I'm very excited because we have a very stacked show. Me and Louis talking off camera about the T-shirt that we have back at home in US, and obviously Carlos is wearing it, so that's awesome. Gentlemen, how are we feeling coming back? CCL winners, that title that we desperately have been wanting for so long, and we finally have it.
Well, I'm a little bit, I'm ashamed for our loyal listeners. I have to say, I'm ashamed for our loyal listeners on our part that we're waiting until now to recap this most monumental of occurrences, the biggest thing to happen to this club. Definitely since we started doing this podcast. Yes, there was one title in there, but we've just been waiting. The process, the emotional and mental process that all of us have gone through to get to this point in CCL. Just frankly, I haven't finished processing it yet, and for that reason, it's kind of surreal that we have a match to play in a new season starting on Monday, because I really haven't finished processing what happened with this CCL. But yeah, that's obviously the biggest thing to discuss. That little sound bit from the last little sound bit from the intro music. León are champions of the CONCACAF Champions League, guys. We haven't recapped it yet. It happened several weeks ago. I'm still processing it. I still don't really know how to describe it. Everything I went through to be at every single match of that title run, everything I had to give up, everything that happened along the way, just craziness, crazy stories, stuff that I could never share on this podcast. But man, it happened. We did it. We're champions of CONCACAF. We're going to the next two editions of the Club World Cup. And man, the whole experience of it is surreal. I kind of feel like, when we started out with this process back in 2020, with a team that I think we would have argued probably was, on paper, better than the one that actually won. But this team that actually won this title, the Larca Boys, the Larca Men. Shout out to Nicolas Larcamón in his first season with the club, what he did with this team. They played like a team possessed. They played as a group. There were obviously some bumps along the way, and it obviously cost them a true shot in their Liga MX season, but it was worth it. And look what they accomplished. And going forward from here, I think we can only expect further great things as this project continues to develop. I think we can only expect more and more great things from this club. But it was a surreal experience. I was sitting there watching at BMO Stadium in Los Angeles, and the whole thing was it was surreal. I can't believe it really happened. I kind of feel like we're as the Joker once said in The Dark Knight, we're kind of like dogs chasing cars. We don't even know what we would do with them if we ever caught one. And I feel like that's kind of where I'm at with the CCL right now. We finally won it. Now what? We were like, well, it's got to be this year or never. This year or never. This is our chance. If it's not going to happen now, it's not going to happen. It happened. And now it's just like, okay, it happened. But life goes on. Now what? We got to keep building. We got to keep striving for even further greatness. So that's where I'm at right now. Still processing, but we got a new season to play, and there's a lot to break down. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I just I had a lot to get off my chest after all that happened a few weeks ago. We hadn't had a chance to break it down. Life gets in the way. What are you going to do? But here we are. We're champion. We are coming into this Liga MX season as champions of CONCACAF. No other Liga MX team can say that. No other team in the Confederation can say that. I think it's a proud moment for this club.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. How do you follow that up? Yeah, I mean, for me, it was a surreal moment as well. I mean, I think I spent the first week and a half waking up in the morning like, damn, we really won. And I just kept telling myself every single moment, just thinking, we really won. We really won it. It was a surreal moment and a major accomplishment for the club, major accomplishment for Nicolas Larcamón. I never thought that his first title as a León coach would be a CONCACAF Champions League. I actually thought it would be a Liga MX league. League title, sorry. But, I mean, it speaks to the project that is being built in León. I mean, if you look at the recent accomplishments that the team has had over the last decade, I mean, multiple Liga MX titles, La Esmeralda being built. They're actually investing in youth academy, and now CCL title. You know, we're really, it's really a project that Louis said it like right before we played the final. It's a title and a project whose time is here. Like, it's our time to make some noise. Right, it's a project that's matured. We're here now. We're not these guys from the Ascenso who are no names. Like, we're actually making noise. We're rustling up some feathers. We've won multiple titles. We're out there. We're in other people's minds, other people's mouths, and we're contenders. And this season, for sure, we're going to be contenders in Liga MX, because it's the only tournament we're playing. I think Mundial de Clubes is like way out in December sometime, so we'll be able to just fully focus on Liga MX. And
well, there is also Leagues Cup, but
Leagues Cup as well. Leagues Cup, which we'll get to later, right?
yeah.
I'm going to that game, by the way, in LA. But I mean, it's
Louis
just,
probably going to the one in Vancouver.
I'm going to one in Vancouver.
It's a long time coming for this team, and I'm glad we finally got it. I cried.
Me too.
Happy tears of joy. Tears of joy. I don't know about you guys, but I cried tears of joy.
I cried.
Amazing moment. And I'm wearing the shirt, as you guys can see. Let's go. Louis, did you get yours?
I ordered it. It's sitting at home waiting for me in Portland.
Oh, okay.
I'll be there. I'll be there in a couple weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm with Carlos. I did cry as well. Whether my dad thought I was exaggerating or not, I'm like, look, this is how I feel. This is a special moment for the club and for all the fans. And I even mentioned it in the last pod that we had. Like, if León did not win, like, it was a fracaso, because I felt, you know, with the whole buildup of the past couple of years, at the potential that they had and always, you know, falling too short. I felt like this was their moment. They had the momentum, they had the refuerzos, they had the coach, they had the mindset, la garra que se extrañaba from other, you know, tournaments, from other past teams. And, you know, I said it, I was like, if we don't win, it's a fracaso. And I think my heart was a bit more confident and, like, kind of, you know, at ease during the halftime of that second leg, but I didn't want anything to go wrong. So I was like, still with the mindset of like, okay, it's not over until it's over. But yeah, I cried. It was a glorious moment, and I am so happy that we finally were able to secure that. And I mean, for us to be able to, I mean, we've been plotting for so long now. I mean, you know, and now to be able to say, oh my God, right, Carlos, like, we are here, we won a CCL title, we did it, and we can finally say it on camera, which is awesome, and on a pod. So great win.
And to do it against LAFC, who absolutely thrashed us the last time we faced them in CCL. That was like the cherry on top, just to win it against LAFC. It was the cherry on top for me.
And to be undoubtedly the better team for all 180 minutes of the two legs, to go up to LA and not to be intimidated in any way, shape, or form by that environment. And big shout out to the León fans that both made the trip from down here. My flight back right after a few hours after the match was back to BJX was full full of fans who had been at the game, but there were also thousands upon thousands of fans who had made the trek to the stadium from all parts of Southern California and other parts of the United States. And big shout out to the representation. The Leon presence was felt there, and it definitely made a difference. So big shout out to all of our people who made that possible.
Definitely, especially that first game at home, I kind of was a bit nervous. Which I think we had a great game. I mean, unfortunately, I think with some refereeing decisions, I was left pretty pissed off after that. But I think the second leg, I mean, it was Leon's moment, Leon's time. Lo nominaron. Obviously, we expected so much from pod after pod of the Yodio, and he came in clutch, very important. Which Arturo in the comments said, I think we did the Yodio dirty. The guy gave us a title, and now he won't play Mundial de Clubes, which we can talk about that in a bit when we move on to the player movements. But I mean, all in all, he also had said, and it's true. I mean, a coach who never played professional soccer won the biggest trophy in CONCACAF, which is LIGA. So I think I go hand in hand with what you said, Carlos. Honestly, I think we would have won. My expectation win a Liga MX title before winning a CCL under LIGA, and he gave us the other way around.
I want to hear from the guy who was in León, Guanajuato, watching the game with all the entire city of León, Guanajuato when this was going down. Look at him smiling.
It's because it's funny, bro. Because I didn't think it was gonna be like that. Because I watched it in La Destilería 18. I had reservations because I wanted to watch it in another cervecería called Tldp, right there by El Arco de la Calzada. I was gonna meet up with Louis' friends. So like the thing about like if you ask me what happened, like I don't really remember. At some point, I was gonna meet up with these guys, and then I said, you know what, dude, I got reservations, and if you guys just want to come over here, I'm pretty sure you guys can hang out with me, even though it was for 2 people, porque mi primo me quedó mal. But by the time they were gonna come over here, I said, no, you know what, dude? I turned around, I'm like, dude, it's packed. Like it's like 30, 40 minutes before the game. And people are extremely packing it, and the people that are not even going to go inside are just going to be watching it from the outside. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like 2 little TVs. I was right in front of that TV, and I would look back. I'm like, whoa, dude, I feel like I'm blocking people. I'm trying to get out the way because I feel like I'm robbing people from their experience. But, yeah, part of it was that I had ordered una cubeta. I thought Louis' friends were going to come. When I said, you know what, don't come. I think it's going to be too late. You're just going to stand in line and waste your spot that you have in the bar that you're at. Just stay there. Well, la cubeta, I thought it was gonna be like 6 beers. It was 12 beers. So I'm like, dang, I gotta drink all these beers. And I did. I started pounding them, bro. And I became really friendly with the people next to me. Like
Louis should have given some out.
Well, I was gonna do that, but I just kind of started pounding them for whatever reason. I got this. I wasn't really talking to no one in the beginning, and then towards the end, but when I was like almost finished, the people next to me were like, dude, you need to take this shot. It's great tequila. So I just started mixing everything. And then next thing you know, I don't even know. I was just singing. They gave me a hat. I lost the hat somewhere. But you know what's crazy is like the next day, you're like, what happened last night? I looked at my picture. Oh, I had a good time. So I don't know if I was crying or not. I do think there's like I was kind of like my eyes were kind of watery. And I was like smiling. I was happy. But I don't know if I cried. I don't remember what happened, to be honest. But I just had a really good time, and just the people that were there were, oh man, it just means so much to the people there, And
yeah,
I just saw so many people.
We all watched your videos on Twitter.
Oh man,
like
I really didn't think it was gonna be like that. I know it gets crowded there, but the fact that there was only 2 TVs and there was like, I don't want to exaggerate, man, but it was like 5,000 people like behind me, all trying to watch the same televisión, and I'm like, man, where did these people come from? How am I gonna get home? I didn't go home for a long time.
Safely, no?
Yeah, I don't know how though. That's like, I don't remember.
The great mystery.
Had a good time.
I think we all have lived it in different obviously different places and different times, but I think we definitely shared the same emotion. But Great moment. Anything else, guys, regarding CCL before we move on?
Just happy that we beat LA. I just did not want to lose against LA, being a San Diego native. Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, come on.
it was just the ultimate definition of el fútbol da revanchas. You know, we had to wait a little bit. We had to wait a little bit longer for our revancha this time. And you know, I'm glad we did it in LA and not at home. That sounds weird,
Yeah.
but I'm glad we did it there.
Better, right? It would have
It
been better.
just
LA. You're right.
the energy in the stadium after beating them there. You know, well, I remember distinctly the energy after losing to them there in the round of 16 back in 2020, and to compare that with the energy after beating them there in a final of the same competition 3 years later, it was indescribable, that energy in the stadium. I can still kind of feel it, and I still don't know quite what to make of it. The fans there were not happy. They were not happy. Some of them were sore losers. There were some fights.
I saw.
It was, you know, that people were. I was just trying to watch my team in their trophy presentation. There were people trying to give me a hard time. I wasn't having it.
I'm gonna ask you that.
No, I wasn't having it.
Hostile? Nah. Cool.
I was getting some hostility.
Bro.
I was getting the hostility, but I was not giving into it. I was like, no, you go over there. This is.
I know. I think it's so
You've
easy
been to
for them
Guadalajara,
just to
you know what I
walk
mean?
away. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's so unnecessary. Just walk away. Like, if
I know.
I'm heated, I'm just gonna walk away. Why am I gonna stay there and give other people like?
Well, no,
bad-
I just didn't.
Or
I just did not indulge their hostility. I just watched our trophy presentation. I was just like, I know this is your stadium, but for the next 15, 20 minutes or however long this trophy presentation, the celebration on your field is, I mean, that's just kind of how it is. If you win on as a visiting team, if you win a championship as a visiting team, that stadium becomes yours for 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, however long that trophy presentation takes. And I just wasn't having it from any of them. But I know I have met plenty of good, healthy LAFC fans. You have too, Javi. Yeah, my friend who came down for both times that they played in Leon. Great guy. Shout out to Justin. I don't think he's listening, but shout out to Justin. The LAFC guys at least most of the LAFC guys that you and I, Javi, talked to on the Voices of the Black and Gold podcast. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, shout out to those guys.
Nice, good, healthy fans. I mean, I've met plenty of them, but there were a lot of LAFC fans in the stadium after they lost that did not give nearly as good a name to that fan base, and so just that.
Well, even remember when Diorio scored, like you can just see towards the end, like some dude just throws like una cheve in his face.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. I was watching.
They were not happy, and to their credit,
that happened in Leon.
That franchise, basically everything they've known since they've started play is winning, and so this was a monumental loss for them. No one in that stadium had seen a loss quite this painful in person, or quite this meaningful, especially on their home pitch. So, I get it. They're not used to it, but I mean, it was a good lesson in humility for them, and just a great moment of triumphant success for us.
Probably the start of something that's going to become even bigger, man. Because like the fact that I think we would all wanted it this way. Like when we were eliminated by them 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I think we would have all signed off on the fact that, okay, we lose this game, but if we beat you in the final, I'm down with that. Because in that moment, it just felt like no way. Like it hurt so much the way we lost, coming from a 3-0 win. Was it 3-0 or 2-0? It was 2-0, right? Yeah. That was 2-0, and then they scored 3, and we only needed 1 gol de visitante. The point is that I think that, como Luis said, el fútbol da revanchas, everything is kind of like writing itself out. And I just think it's the beginning of probably this great international rivalry for Leon. And I was looking at the Leagues Cup's calendar, and it's just kind of like if Leon wins both of their games and they're on top, and LAFC wins their game against like probably Mazatlan, they will probably face it off again in Leagues Cup.
Well, even if it doesn't happen this year, if they really are planning on doing Leagues Cup every year from now on,
right?
and
formato de la Conca Champions, Louis, like that's going to change a lot too.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to qualify.
I think it is inevitable that we play LAFC a lot more in the coming years, and well, that's the fun part of this whole Leagues Cup thing. As Leagues Cup gets closer, we'll talk more about that. But I think that one of the cool things about the Leagues Cup is the chance to develop these rivalries, to develop out these rivalries between Liga MX and MLS clubs. And there's already one brewing, I feel like, between Leon and LAFC, and that's only going to make it even juicier.
Yes.
Definitely.
You know who also was mad that LAFC lost, and I loved listening to the reporters from ESPN and the media who hyped
Mauricio.
LAFC, and they were saying, "Oh, this is the best team in MLS," and they're gonna. I don't know who somebody from LAFC said, like, "Oh, we're gonna, like, some very explicit words. We're gonna beat them."
Oh, you're talking about Jaime
at home."
Camil?
Oh yeah, you're talking about Jaime Camil. Shout out to Jaime Camil. You're a huge payaso, my friend.
And shout out to Fox Deportes, because they were the only ones that showed class. They were actually, like, on the pitch after the game, like doing an hour-long reporting of the Conca Champions final. Not even Fútbol Picante did that. Like, they did like a 10-minute segment on León. But everyone else, I mean, ESPN, every other TUDN, like, they were all mad that León won, and I loved it.
Oh, and shout out to Peso Pluma, who was paid by LAFC to be there in the stadium.
Give him credit.
And was given a jersey, an LAFC jersey, that he refused to put on because he is personal friends. He's personal friends with a few players on Leon's team. Canelo Angulo, I think, also Davila, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's friends with a few different players. Maybe Brian Rubio is one. But he's friends with some guys on the team. And he refused. He was paid by LAFC to be like a celebrity fan, and he refused to play ball. I can't stand his music, but he supported Leon in his own way in this instance. So shout out to Peso Pluma.
He sure did.
All right,
sure did.
Peso Pluma. One of us. Claiming.
Okay.
Claiming now.
Moving on to player movements, quitaciones jugadores, and all that stuff. First, let's talk about, obviously, we did mention the Yodio. The Yodio left. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I feel like it was a thing that was bound to happen. Are we content that he has left the club on this note?
Look, I think he and everyone else who's leaving is leaving through the Puerta Grande. You know, the Yodio had a great second leg of the CONCACAF Champions League final. He scored a goal that will go down in history for the club, and he did so as a consummate pro, knowing that he was already going to be on the move from the club, no matter what happened. That, I think, is the most noteworthy thing. He was a consummate pro about the whole thing, and he celebrated that goal knowing he would not be going to the Mundial de Clubes, but he celebrated it in a way that as though he were. He knew what it meant for him. He knew what it meant for the club, for the fans, for everybody. You know, he could have been pouty. He could have been real immature about the whole situation, and he was not. He was a consummate pro. But we have to be realistic about this. He did not have a good season overall with León, and the direction that the team is heading, I'm sorry, but Federico Viñas, who we'll get to, is probably more de la talla of this project than Diorio is. Like, Diorio had a great goal. He had a great moment. He had a great game. He's a consummate pro, likable guy, but I just don't think none of that changes the fact that he probably was not going to be the striker for this project moving forward. And it was time for him to get a shot somewhere else. And I think we have to be really clear-headed about such things.
Yeah, I think the decision to move the Yodio was made long before we even got into the final. Like, it was talked about way ahead of the final, and it was to no one's surprise. I mean, if you ask León fans in the middle of the season, like, do you want Yodio here next season? Most people would tell you no, because he hadn't been productive. And I mean, it's cool. Like Louis said, he was professional about it. And se va por la Puerta Grande. And you know, same thing with Campbell, right? Knowing that he wasn't going to be here anymore, he was professional about it till the very last minute. And who else left?
Byron.
You know, all three of these guys. Byron didn't really get a chance to play on the final, but
I mean, I think his fate was sealed for a while too. And man, he went out and gave his best effort, regardless. When he did get a chance to play, obviously he never amounted to anything close to being el mejor lateral in America. He definitely was never that. But even when his fate was probably all but sealed these last few months, he went out and played and gave his best and
Not
had a
yet, but
couple of good
I hope
moments.
that Almada can like really get him to his elite level.
Yeah.
We'll
Because
see.
he played for him before. He played for him in Ecuador, and they
Yeah.
won a title together. So,
But we'll definitely see. We don't have to wait. We don't have to wait long to play Pachuca. So we'll get the reencuentro. I mean, both Diorio and Byron pintan para starters in Pachuca this season. They both started against Tigres in the Campeón de Campeones match last weekend. So I expect to see them in the starting lineup in match day 2 in El Glorioso, and it should be interesting.
I was just gonna add. Someone also asked about Viñas and our thoughts. My thought is that I think it was pretty much. Who do you think will have a better, más impacto en los 90 minutos en la actualidad? Viñas or Diorio? Now Diorio, like you guys said, I think he was going to be out anyway, regardless of what he did in that final contra LAFC. So I think bringing in Viñas, la salida de Campbell, la salida de Byron, I think the fact that they know they're going to have 9 instead of 10 extranjeros, and of course, 7 que pueden utilizar en la cancha, I think you add all of that, and they have to really kind of just consider, like, okay, why is Byron leaving? Because Ivan Moreno, a Mexicano, can take that spot. So I think you got to get rid of some of the players that you think Mexican players can take over that spot. Borja is coming. He hasn't signed yet, but he's pretty much coming. And so you got those 3 players that are out. And now not really much rumors. Jairo already pretty much said it in his Instagram account that he's done.
I just saw that video though, and I'm not too
Yeah,
convinced.
I don't.
No.
Yeah,
No,
we're
but
gonna talk
even
about that
regardless-
what did he
but-
say?
So
He
there's a
said
video where
Machado-
he's in Colombia. He's in a pool with like having fun with his other friends.
He's having fun at a
Ask
pool party.
Yeah, he's in Colombia, and Omar
Yeah.
Fernandez. Apparently, those two. I mean, I've been hearing it for a couple of days prior to what Paco Vela said today. But what I'm just saying is, I do think there probably are looking, because if you take those 2 out, then you have one more refuerzo extranjero that can come in. Colombato's coming back, but he's only going to train with the team until they find a team for him, because the team that was lo habían prestado,
Wait, he's
they
not
don't
going
want
to
him.
Oviedo.
No.
That's what they're trying to work out. They're trying to work
Not
out a team.
officially.
Yeah, he's just going to practice with the team hasta que le arreglen un equipo. Could be Oviedo, it could be some other team in Segunda División Portuguesa. I don't know. He might just stay with León. The point is that contención part right there, it's already kind of much covered by Perro. So like I said, you want to spread out.
No, they're different players though.
Yeah, but you wanna
They're different
spread out.
players.
Even if he came back, I think it would be a great asset anyway. But I think what they're trying to do is just kind of see. Acaban de firmar a Iván Moreno, they acaban de firmar a Platanito, and they acaban de firmar a Bellón. So I think they really are trying to have a team so they can play Leagues Cup, even though it's not really going to impactar con la Liga. But for sure, when you get to the point to el Mundial de Clubes, you're going to have una buena escuadra, a great banca. So
Well,
I think they're looking for all their
Leagues
best
Cup
options.
is important. Leagues Cup is important because at this point it's the only way, our only path towards being able to defend our CONCACAF Champions League title in 2024.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not important. I'm
Mhm.
saying que no se va a empalmar los partidos. So I'm talking about having depth in your banca. By the time you come to el Mundial de Clubes, you have to really think about your extranjeros. Jairo has been injured a lot. So if he does leave, I would see him like, okay, la directiva is saying, yeah, maybe him and Omar probably got to go. What you want to have is players that are going to be there, for these torneos. So I think they're being very smart about it. That's why Byron had to leave, and it's for the best interest. I think both the team and the players. I think Diorio and also Byron are going to be better off in Pachuca. Viñas, hopefully, with the fact that he's a great player. He's an amazing player. I think with León, he puede brillar hasta más. So him coming, we'll see what happens with that. But overall, Omar Fernandez, is he going to stay or not? I know Larcamón loves him since he was with Puebla.
Yeah,
But,
that's the thing that's strange to me is like, why wouldn't we keep Omar Fernandez if like that's some? I would consider him like a Larcamón favorite.
Yeah,
I
that's what
don't
I'm
think
saying.
everything is planned.
Directiva
I
is
mean,
probably planning something.
The issue is
but we need to hurry up because Chivas is around the corner.
the issue is the NFM players. You just have to. I mean, those are such premium spots. You have to make sure every single spot that you're using on a no formado in Mexico is producing. You have to, because you cannot waste even one of those spots. That's why, I mean, Diorio had one really good season and one not so great season. You have to cut bait because you just can't afford to use a spot on him anymore. And
That's
you can't afford to use a spot on Byron. And I don't think you can use a spot on Omar either. I would still take a chance on Jairo because when he's on, he's one of the best players in Liga MX. If not the best player, he is capable. He is that good. He is capable of being the best player in Liga MX when healthy and on form. The problem is we haven't seen enough of him being healthy and on form. But for me, his talent level is enough that I'm willing to take a chance on him, but not on the others. Not on the other two.
But
the other three, I should say.
Because it's down between Omar and Jairo. With Campbell, it was the same thing. Like we know he was talented. He had the talent. But I think for me last season, even he fell off. For me, he fell off. And to me, at this point, I think it's better to move on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is serious or not. So to give people a bit of context, there's a video circulating around where he's back in Colombia after he got injured in the first leg, and he has a pool with his friend. Someone asked him about Leon, and he's jokingly, that's what he said, like, oh, like me corrieron. So the video is circulating around about that, and we don't know the full story. We don't know if it's true or not. Only thing I'm gonna say is that he did the same thing when he was in Pachuca, where he left to Colombia and then we didn't know if he was gonna come back or not. And when he came back to Leon. So he left again, but we don't know what's happening.
Well, he's injured right now, right? He's not going to be back for like 4 months or
for a while. So I think that's what la directiva wants to do. They want to put him. Look, están arreglando supuestamente que se vaya al Oviedo. So they're trying to make the best for him. If he came back from Colombia, from Pachuca, back to Liga Mexicana, because the idea, I think, is exportarlo todavía. They thought with León he was going to be able to do that. Se lesiona. So right now we have 10 extranjeros. We can only have 9. So it's, from what I've heard, it's between Omar and Jairo. So they get rid of one. I think the one Jairo, they're not trying to get rid of him, but maybe put him in an equipo in Colombia mientras mejore, and then eventually send him to El Oviedo. Or maybe not. That's not even the case, and they might keep him like Luis said, and then just get rid of Omar. But Omar, like Carlos was saying, es uno de los favoritos del Arcamón. Arcamón, I can probably see him being like, le puedo sacar lo mejor.
And he's healthy and he's ready to go. He's game ready.
And he's game ready. So I think they're balancing these.
Like Jairo. And Jairo, to go back to Louis' point, he does have that potential. And I love what Cari said. Like he reminds me of Joe Campbell. Like, this guy has so much potential, but he keeps getting injured, number one. And I don't remember him having a good season either in León or Pachuca ever since he was coached by Nacho Ambriz. And that was years ago. That was like 34 years ago. Yeah. So,
and I love Jairo, but
ever since then, he's had these 3-4 years, and he hasn't recovered his elite status. I mean, it's kind of worrying to me.
It is, and I don't know if maybe right now this is the best situation to just find him another team. And it's just, at this point, ganó la CCO, and now maybe it's time to move on to other players. Now, in regards to what Sos Boy said, hi guys, what are your thoughts about Federico Viñas? Do you guys think he'll do good, or will it be another striker that struggles in front of the goal? And also, how far do you think we'll go this year? In regards to Viñas, I want to say he's only had three goals last season. So I think in regards to the Yorio, I think we have definitely mentioned this past pod season that he was not having a good season compared to the season before, where, fue máximo goleador y no sé qué de la Fiera. I think we've always struggled in that position, obviously. So I think what Leon should do, which is I think what they're doing, is obviously had a season with the Yorio. Now they're moving him on, bring another striker. We have Viñas, who's 25 years old. I think it's just a matter of si no están dando su potencial, circle them out, because the least I want is for us to get stuck with a striker that we le damos chance after chance, year after year. Like, he's just ages there, and we've always struggled with that position. Let's be honest. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think until I see what his potential is with this León, and si cabe el esquema del Arcamón or not, then I'll go from there. But I'm not like, oh my God, we se fue Diorio, now we have Viñas. Like, no, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, well, Diorio gave us a good season. He
Isn't
kind of
he injured
struggled,
right
but gave
now?
us a title. Viñas?
What is Viña's
Yeah.
situation? He's not gonna be able to play against Chivas, right? But because una lesión or because of what?
Yeah, because he was with, así lo convocaron in Uruguay, but I don't think he was playing because of that. So then he came back to León.
Yeah. So isn't that like one of the like cons against Viñas is that he's always injured?
I mean, we're not getting
He's
much.
injured?
Like,
I
well,
didn't
he
even know
would
he was
get injured.
Oh, yeah, he gets injured.
Um, he's a higher profile player than Lucas Diorio is. Let's
So
just
why?
I'm gonna put it that well is because that's what the
He's
scouting
Maraviñas.
that's what the
Hey, Carlos.
scouting and the trayectoria says.
You don't get
He
the name
has-
Maraviñas just because.
He has yet to really prove it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In Liga MX, but I don't know, he's one of those guys that a typical story can get lost in a team like America, and then he can come to a team like León in the right situation, with the right esquema, the right manager, the right situation, and they can really thrive. I mean, just look back to I think of Ángel Mena as a good comparison. He was completely lost in Cruz Azul, and he came to León and became the goleador de la Liga, one of the best players in Liga MX.
Garcia wasn't nobody in Chivas. He comes to León.
And he was older
15
already when that
million.
happened. Viñas is still a pretty young player. If he can get healthy and fit in, I mean, he just really strikes me as the kind of guy that he fits the bill of someone who can go to a team like America, get completely lost, get no tomado en cuenta, and then he comes to a club like León and thrives. But I'm going to withhold judgment until he gets on the field.
Yeah.
Well, they're obviously betting on this guy because didn't they signed him for like what 5 years?
I didn't see how long.
I
Is
don't
that
know how long.
I
But they
think
better be betting on
someone
him.
said it was 5 years. I can't remember if it was like Cheque or Romo. Somebody said it was a long contract.
I should look that
You know
up.
how these things
At
go,
the end of the
Carlos.
day, they
For a
don't
player
always
like
get to
him,
the end.
they want to have as much club control as possible so they can be, they have full control in terms of a future move.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Well, I don't know how that would
24,
how that
25?
intertwines
Kari,
with
you said 25.
25. He is.
That's
He's
pretty.
25.
Yeah, you're still in
He's
your
25.
prime.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's 25.
We can get 5 of his best years with León.
Well,
I'm not
what
gonna-
I'm saying
I'm
is
not
that I
gonna
think they signed
levantarlo.
Diorio for like, was it 3-4 years? También it wasn't like a short.
He
contract.
is 24, but turns 25 tomorrow.
Oh, happy early birthday! I just saw that 30th of June.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
That's
what
a
was I
24,
gonna
25.
say? Well, okay. So in regards to like, for
Diorio,
example,
we signed him.
yeah. So we signed him, right? So now he's going to Pachuca, right? But
Yeah.
what I thought is that those club to club multipropiedad signings, swaps, so it wasn't allowed anymore. So how are they getting away with this? And then how would that work?
Like
That's what I thought, that they couldn't do that
Yeah.
anymore.
I
as
think
of
what
now.
they
Find a
couldn't do no
loophole.
more was the draft, the little draft they would do. Like next thing you know, like the tournament was over, and then you had all these players that had switched, but era más como. I think this was una transacción legítima in which, like, I don't know if the thing is that entre Pachuca y León no se pueden hacer transacciones, because I
Yeah.
think I don't know if that's what the case is, but I remember what they were just mad about was la mini draft they would do every summer, in which muchos jugadores de Pachuca, León would just transfer each other. Players that weren't really high like profile too, people like Saúl Zamorra will go that way, and then stuff like that, like those kind of players. Like, but in terms of, I think lo de Diorio, si no mal recuerdo, es propiedad. Wasn't he propiedad de okay? So they bought him from Everton, right?
Yeah, so it's propiedad.
De Grupo Pachuca, in the end, and they gave him and they gave him, and because I see traspaso.
I don't remember, but I think don't quote me on this, but I think León had his card and lo prestaron a Everton, and then when he came over here, people were like, "Who's this no-name guy?" It's like, no,
Yeah.
León owns this
No,
guy.
but, yeah, León already had him. Yeah, you're right, Carlos. Porque dice
Something like that.
traspaso. right? And so I mean, they bought him from Leon.
Yeah.
Carlos, I'm seeing on SofaScore that for Federico Viñas, his contract until 30th of June of 2025.
That's 2 years.
That'd be
Okay.
2 years.
Okay. I
But who
don't know.
knows? We could if someone knows, or we'll check later what
Yeah, I don't know
actual
the thing about Viñas. I just know
of that was.
he's definitely a player that La Directiva wants to bet on in terms of like they gave, back in the day with Gigliotti, ganó el campeonato, they moved on, and I think they gave Di Giorgio a good 3 torneos, and he had really one really well torneo, really good torneo, and I think esa final contra LAFC was exactly what we needed from him, just like what we needed from Gigliotti in that final against Pumas. But I think Viñas is a player that has más, how Louis said, categoría. So as I said, I think he's a player like Louis said, exactly typical Mena story where he's a por algo lo contrató Cruz Azul a Mena y por algo la América contrató a Viñas. And no más que se perdieron en esos equipos. And León, it could be a team like historically they have been, where you go and you do incredible things, and then you're back to the value that you're worth. I think Viñas could be a really important player for León para conseguir este título de la League's Cup, if se lo proponen, o la novena, or haciendo un buen papel en el Mundial de Clubes. I think that's what La Directiva wants to do. They don't just want to compete semi-league. I think these are los cambios que están haciendo, right? They want to have una buena. That's why firmaron a Iván Moreno. They're like, nah, he's not leaving. He's gonna have to stay. No importa cuánto va a costar. Platanito Alvarado too. I know he wasn't cheap,
And just before
yeah.
the podcast started, Barredo received an extension.
And then Barredo,
They announced it.
But
They
did
just
we
announced
know?
the
Do
Barredo
you know
extension.
when until when did he renew? What year?
Did you see? Because I just saw it right now.
I saw the video, but
I haven't heard it.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see how many years or how many.
In regards to
But he was one that needed to be
Ivan,
renewed.
so obviously they announced Ivan Moreno, Paul Belon, and Platanito, like Javi said, fueron adquiridos totalmente por León. Now, in the case of Ivan Moreno and Paul Belon, they also, obviously, Belon has nationality, the I don't know from where his family, but francés.
Yeah.
And Ivan Moreno, alemán. So with them is a possibility. Obviously, sacan sus pasaportes europeos, and it could be a possible
Mandarlos a Europa.
open door. Yeah, mandarlos a Europa,
Eso,
whether
Kari.
that's with Oviedo or anywhere else in the future. But that's a good open door for these players for León. Yeah, I didn't know Ivan had
Very
some
smart.
alemán in him. I don't know.
I know.
What,
I didn't. You
what
said that right now. I'm
family.
like, what? We talking about Ivan Ivan Moreno?
Yeah.
Probably is primo de Philip Lam or something like. He's an incredible player that does have that potential to go to Europe, and I think León. I'm telling you, man. I know some of these decisions seem kind of like weird, but I do want to have give him the benefit of the doubt. I know like Vital leaving and stuff like that. Like I think it was the best for both the team and the player. But buying these 3 players, Platanito, Ivan Moreno, and Bellon, and you mentioning what you just mentioned, Kari, which is a reason why it's not the only reason. Aparte de que muchos de los jugadores mexicanos se conforman mucho con lo que ganan en México, but the passport situation that makes it kind of harder for them to get sold to Europe. That's just something less they got to worry about, and just kind of like probably León wants to buy them, and maybe the idea is to export them. Especially un jugador como Iván Moreno. Of course, I think Fidel Ambrí está levantando más la mano más que nunca para meter
Scored
un gol.
yesterday. Did you guys see?
I did. I watched that game, like because los centroamericanos, you're like, all right, people gotta dominate these. And then Medallero, they're on top. And in este torneo, they cannot lose. And especially don't want them to lose porque el capitán es Fidel Ambrí, un leonés. So I'm watching kind of mucho.
That was a
mucha
good
atención.
goal. So Javi had mentioned about Borja Sanchez. Obviously, before he left Oviedo, coach said that he's heading to Mexico. Although they have not officially announced him, I'm not sure if they're just trying to think of a creative way to sign him, or if maybe his destination is somewhere else. But he has not yet been announced. Also, did you guys catch the other player, Pedro Budip Peniche, that from Puebla, young 19-year-old? Central. Obviously, Larcamón knows him, uno de los juveniles that definitely Larcamón had an eye on. So he's also training with the team, has not been officially announced. So yeah, no sé. I guess we'll see in the next couple of days if anything of those two players get announced. Carlos will be back. But yeah, so that's so far what's going on. We'll definitely see in the next upcoming days about other possible signings or departures. Maybe we'll see if the whole Yairo thing is true or not. We'll see about the Omar Fernandez thing. We'll see about the Santi Colombato. We'll see definitely what goes on with that. Senako on the comment said one of them is going to Everton de Chile when we were talking about the other players. So it's also an option. As we know.
Omar.
That's where Sosa is. That's where Chapito is.
Chapito.
So,
Yeah, Leon has a lot of players en préstamos and just all around. Colombato coming back is another situation that they have. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on with Grupo León. I don't want to call it Grupo Pachuca, just the León part
Grupo León.
Yeah,
Well, they
I mean,
finally
they could be doing
found
that,
Celestina a team. You guys saw
We
that.
did.
Louis,
I saw that.
Why? Okay, Louis, how come that was the only part of the whole conversation that really got your attention?
No, I talked a lot at the beginning, homie. I talked a lot at the beginning. I don't want to interrupt anybody's flow, but I did see that Celestine got a new team.
Where'd he
finally.
go? Where'd he go? Just interested.
I think.
Oh my god, it was a while back. Then I was like, oh, good for him.
Is he staying in Mexico or he's going to back to Europe?
No, he's going. I don't know if it was at Turkey.
Okay, he's going to Turkey.
Like
maybe it was.
I know San Luis got un francés. They just signed un francés, San Luis. Look, when it comes to refuerzos y León, like maybe, I mean, it does feel like algo falta, right? But you don't want to. I mean, I trust Larcamón. The whole thing about Senacu's a second division of Hungary. Hungary? Not Hungary. Hungría.
That's where it is. I was like second division.
And play for Puskás FC. I don't know. I'm just making that up. I just know that's the only thing I know about Hungary. Puskás.
Okay, guys, moving on. That way we can try and get off
Moving
soon.
on.
The Mexico game is coming up for those who
Honduras empató último minuto a Qatar. Watching it over there.
The calendario is out. So obviously we'll have a Monday night game versus Chivas, which I'm honestly pretty happy we're getting Chivas cool. In the first jornada. So 2 back-to-back home games for Louis and Javi. No, Javi, you're not there anymore.
I'm in San Diego. I'm in La Jolla.
California.
Yeah, back-to-back. Strange back-to-back Monday night home games to start a season. Yeah. It's but they should be real. I mean, I'm looking forward to both those games.
You know what? I'm gonna fly tomorrow. I'll meet you over there.
So they announced that. Cool. They announced that there's going to be more games on VIX. Is that only in Mexico or?
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Say that again.
I think I don't know if that's across in the U.S., but from what I know, I think I saw a comunicado from Fox Sports and Azteca that like all the games are going to. I think the only exception is San Luis because they're on ESPN. I think they still have a contract with ESPN, but the rest of the games will be on VIX.
Oh, VIX. Okay. Sí, porque Televisa.
I think it's only in Mexico though, because the Chivas game is on TUDN over here on Monday.
Okay.
So it might just be over there.
Well, it's the same. I mean, when it comes to León, I don't know where it goes over there.
Like in Mexico, when it came to León, you see them in Fox Sports, right? And I think Claro Sports. But I don't know if that's only in the U.S. But I think with VIX, it's a way where you can watch the home games. Like if you're in León, you can watch the home games of León instead of having to go to Fox Sports. I think that's what it is.
But I think that because I think someone asked the account of Club León and like, so does this mean all? And he says, and they responded like, yes, all the games will be on there, and also like they said like normal streaming, which to me that indicates that Marca Claro will still be broadcasting the home games. Hopefully that's true because I do enjoy watching the home games on Marca Claro versus on VIX. But
That is only in Mexico, though.
Yeah,
Only in
only in Mexico. Yeah. So
U.S. we watch the Leon games where though?
in TUDN.
Yeah, that's true. Huh? Everything's good.
Well, here, I mean, honestly, as much as I hate that, it's on VIX because it's still paid. At the same time, I'm kind of glad because it was like, oh, aficionados over here would be Tigres and Atlas, right? And then on VIX they had some games, and then on ESPN other games, and it's just devastating. It's just like such a like
Just
annoying
wait till you
thing.
just wait till you find out the new platform they're going to use for Leagues Cup.
Well,
Apple
that's the
TV.
thing. Well, that's the
Is
thing,
it-
though, because Liga MX is stupid when it comes to that stuff. Because they're like, "Oh, let's join forces with MLS and let's have this tournament." But who does it benefit at the
The
end
Lion
of the
Dance
day?
podcast does condone the opinions. No, I mean,
No, but
I agree with you.
But
I
it
agree.
benefits MLS because they went to now Apple streaming, and obviously they were
Smart.
anticipating to get more subscriptions to
Yeah.
watch MLS, which that failed. But they're like, hey, don't worry, we'll recover that because we'll have Leagues Cup and all these Mexican teams que les encanta ver los partidos y gastar
Yeah.
dinero. We'll make up our money there, and
Yeah.
that's what's gonna happen. And I'm gonna be
Well,
quiet before I say.
You're
something.
correct, Kari. It's the people that are in control of the federación.
It will
are not
eventually benefit Liga MX as well. That is
How?
my
The Leagues Cup or VIX?
hot take. The Leagues Cup and the Leagues Cup being on Apple TV.
No, yeah.
No, the Leagues Cup on Apple TV only benefits MLS.
Well,
Because
the
why?
Leagues Cup-
Because all the
Sorry.
games are going to be over
I'm in
there.
between.
if
I'm in between this.
I'm
Where'd I
sorry,
go?
I'm just really heated about
Convince
this
me, guys.
topic. Not
I
against
thought we were talking
anybody.
about VIX.
Really
I got
We
an
got
unwanted
to Apple
Siri.
TV. Is VIX good for the Liga Mexicana? That's the question.
Go. Sorry, I got an unwanted hey that thing on Apple devices that pops up when you say its name.
On your window, like, hey, what's
Yeah.
up, Louis? How unwanted. Get
Which
it.
I never use and really should just turn off because I never use it. Anyway, here's my hot take. Apple TV Plus should broadcast all the Liga MX games in addition to the MLS games. I mean, if they're really looking to do this partnership, like I subscribe to. Stop shaking your head,
No.
Cotty. It's absolutely
No.
true.
No,
It is absolutely
we're
true.
giving MLS everything.
No.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, yes. For now, if Liga MX was part of the MLS, it wouldn't be called the MLS, whatever it's called, the MLS season pass. That's what it's called. It would not be called that if it also included Liga MX. It could be the MLS Liga MX season pass. That's what I'm saying. They should broadcast every Liga MX match from anywhere in the world, just like they do with MLS games. It's been a godsend for those of us who watch MLS and like MLS. The Apple TV Plus, you can watch it from anywhere in the world on any device. It is so easy and perfectly high quality.
What about no? That's
Yeah,
wrong.
I mean-
Yes, Scotty.
I would-
Yes, Scotty. I'm sorry, but you're wrong on this.
No, I'm not.
Honestly, I
I'm
would rather-
defending.
I would rather just pay one single subscription of Liga MX
Exactly.
Liga MX Pass instead of paying VIX, Fox, Fubo.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
lo
over.
malo though is que like it's not just a universal thing. There's so many obstacles to go through. But you know what I mean? It's not like, now we're talking about like, well, over here, it's on VIX now, but now, in the US is something different. Why can't it be just across the board the same thing? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
frustrating.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
The-
but at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm just
you just don't
I'm
like
just really
Apple. You
frustrated.
just don't like the
No, it's not
MLS
that.
season pass on Apple.
You're anti-Apple.
No, it's not that. It's
You hate-
MLS is doing so much and trying to take over so much. Why are all the
You hate-
leagues?
you hate
Where are all
Trump.
the leagues cup
Why do
games?
you hate Steve Jobs?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just
So
for
where are
de
the-
una
where
vez,
are the- no,
de una
I'm
vez por
telling you,
todas.
Why are the leagues cup games all in the US?
Dinero. Economically better for everybody involved.
Well,
Why
that's
can't
the
there
Liga
be
MX.
games?
I agree.
Why can't there be
I
games
agree
in
there with
Mexico?
Well, I will only say this: what is the most watched soccer league in the United States? On
Is it Liga
TV.
MX?
It is Liga MX.
Woo!
Give those people a chance to watch some live games. We still have the
Yeah.
Liga MX regular season and all the games that really matter. We still have all of those down in Mexico. You can give the US the Leagues Cup.
I'm just saying that nothing's ever split down the middle between MLS and Liga MX. We're being used and taken advantage of, like always. Oh, Leagues Cup. Oh, let's just all have it in the U.S. Why can't we have games in Mexico?
I have
Why
a hot
not?
take.
They want to use us, but they don't want to have us participate in our own, sedes. It's like the same thing with the World Cup. Hey
I have a
guys,
hot
let's
take.
go ahead and join join when with Canada and Mexico. Oh, how many games does Mexico have? Like, and the rest are in the U.S. And why didn't they just bid alone?
Because of dollars.
I have a hot take.
Getting a new tournament. They're getting a new tournament off the ground that will, in the end, be beneficial for everybody.
And
maybe in a few years they will play some games in Mexico, but for now, Mexico
in a few years,
always.
Like, that's just mind blowing. Like,
it's not that mind blowing. You got to give these things a chance to grow and evolve. This will eventually end up being very, very good for everybody. I swear.
I love you. I love
hope
you.
I mean, we'll check back. We'll check back later and see who was right. But
it's not who's right. It's what's right and what's wrong. That's what it is.
No, well, it's both, because I'm saying this will benefit everybody. You're saying it won't. We'll see who's right.
It's gonna be one of those things where
it's not about you or me being right. It's about what our stances are. Or, what.
So what are the things we know about the Leagues Cup? One of the things that they're gonna all get money in terms of participating as you start advancing, getting. That's interesting because historically in la Liga Mexicana, whenever there was that kind of money para que se repartiera entre los jugadores equally, it would never happen. And I think this is the difference between like the Liga Mexicana and the MLS and everything that's being now controlled. Because it's not just going to be Leagues Cup. There's a reason why they brought el Mundial de Clubes a Estados Unidos, the Copa America next year in Estados Unidos, and the World Cup, of course. I think there is a lot of money to be made.
And now they're talking about Libertadores too.
Think about that. Why would they have Libertadores unless they understand? Look at this Gold Cup, for instance. There's just a lot of people that live in this country that are from all these parts of the world. It's interesting that Louis did say that Liga Mexicana is el más visto. So I think a long time ago they were trying to set this up for a while. Regardless if it's should be some games in Mexico or not. Or look, I think the fact that lo caro que van a estar los partidos para ver estos. I mean, I don't know how much is going.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, yes, they will all be played in MLS stadiums, but which team is the home team and the away team varies by game. There will be games where the Liga MX club, I mean, it's divided equally. It's divided equally which teams between Liga MX and MLS are considered the home team, and that determines who has quien se queda con the majority of the ticket sales. And the ticket sales for those games dwarf anything they could possibly charge for a game here in Mexico.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're paying for the game in Dignity Health, Carlos. I know what I'm paying for the game in Vancouver, and these are group stage Leagues Cup group stage games of a tournament that we don't even know if anyone's going to care about it yet. But what they're able to charge for the ticket prices, which Liga MX teams will get an equal share of.
There you go.
Is nothing compared to what they can charge down here.
Yeah.
So
they're looking at it from that aspect.
You have to look at it from every angle. You have to look at it from a lot of different angles.
For the record,
also, think about the Miami games. Both are going to be played in Miami. Think about that. Messi's coming he's going to play Cruz Azul in Miami, and the game against Atlanta is going to be in Miami. So yeah, they're definitely looking at it from all angles of what is going to be better moving on, where you can have this time frame. Who knows? It's going to be better off in the future. But the fact that Conca Champions already has it there, where the fact that los primeros tres equipos they get to the final, segundo lugar and tercer lugar qualify to la Conca Champions. So it's already they're trying something
new. We have to look at it from all angles and give it a chance. We can't just say, "Oh no, this is terrible. Everything about it is terrible." All from the beginning. We cannot. It's not. Louis, it's not.
Look,
Louis, think about it from this way. You're right. Kari, think about it from this way. The teams are going to get richer. The teams are going to get richer. They're going to get more economically stronger when it comes to this.
Yes, but ¿qué les sirve if they don't do anything right with it? But that's a whole other conversation I don't want to get into.
Think about when the Premiership was created and they bought Manchester United for like $20 million because that's all what La Liga no costaba nada because La Liga no estaba avanzando. But the Premiership, what they did with the transmisiones and everything, it made all of these teams become powerhouses. look, the thing about La Liga Mexicana es que tienen un potencial grande because they have dos mercados. But, it's not even about capitalizing on that. It's just the fact that you're going to...
That's a good point. MLS no tiene mercado en México.
No, they don't. So you think about...
they have to bring us over here.
Yes.
Right? And which pays in dollars, right? Like if you ask Leon, Cari, if you ask El Presidente, hey,
I'm right here.
Would you rather pay your players or would you rather collect a paycheck for 50,000 pesos for playing LAFC in Leon or $50,000 for playing them in
honestly, at this point, it'd be the other way around because the dollar is low and it goes down to like 16, $17.
Okay, the dollar is low, but not that low.
Yeah,
no, it is low.
La final contra LAFC, lo que cobraron, it's like $80.
17,
that was,
I think.
17.
That was for a lot of people in Mexico. That was too much money. And
think about
they're going to charge here, and we're not going to keep charging. It's the fact that people are the difference is that both sides in Mexico, los aficionados en Mexico y en Estados Unidos are equally as passionate. The only difference is that over here económicamente están mejores para pagar esa pasión. Es por eso que cuando van a la selección contra México y los boletos están como en 500, 700, people complain that's too much because it is too much for the people that are down there. But for the people over here, it's not too much.
That's all you have to look at is the final with LAFC.
Yeah.
Here, the tickets were a quarter or a third of the price of what they were in LA, and people complained. Whereas up there, they were fighting for seats. That's really all you have to know.
That's
really all
you have to know.
That explains everything.
It's not a game by game, like.
Yeah, that's a final. It was a final here. It was a final here too, and the people complained and they didn't go because they thought it was too expensive.
I think the thing about it here is that the owners know that we're going to fill up the seats here in the U.S. because we don't get to see our teams as much as you guys over there. Like if Leon comes here twice a year, I'm probably going to make the effort to actually go to the game.
Yeah.
Because I never get to see them.
You never get to see them como la selección. When it started happening in 95, 96, 97, it was un parteaguas. Yes, los partidos moleros, but obviously we know la federación wants to make money no matter how much. The difference here is, I think, in my opinion, is that everybody va a ganar un poquito más. It used to be just los equipos grandes que venían a Estados Unidos a hacer sus vueltas. With this tournament, like Mazatlán can go to that tournament y tienen un grupo muy accesible. Si pasan de su grupo, they're going to get some additional money in dollars. And, se va a repartir entre los jugadores, entre la directiva. And I think it's like the comparison to the Premier League when it was rebranded, and then the owners that bought Manchester United, how they saw this team in the future will be this much worth. And I think si todos vemos los equipos como una industria, you got to do what's better for your industry, for your company, for what's better economically, for what you can, get an advantage.
Yeah,
I think right now,
because at the end of the day, it's a business, right?
Yeah, well, that's what Jesus Martinez are trying to tell Azcárraga, saying like, well, look, if you're gonna actually do this, do it the right way. Lo único que falta es la transmisiones. The way you guys are talking about, like, wouldn't it be easier if it was on Apple TV? Yes, of course. But Azcárraga doesn't want to share none of that with anybody else. That's why cuando Telemundo junto con Carlos Slim wanted to put a humongous amount of money para que las transmisiones fueran todos, like, imagine, los partidos de la selección, de la Liga probably would have been all shown on Telemundo or something, on that Peacock, like the World Cup and stuff. But no, instead, Iraragorri found that loophole, and then they still have control of selección. So it's a whole thing where Kari is right about los federativos. They're not smart when it comes to that aspect. But I think what they're trying to do right now is kind of look at it from the MLS, kind of like NBA, NFL, those kind of leagues. No hay descensos. They're just trying to fortalecer estos equipos franquicias para que sea una industria si sigan creciendo,
Okay, well, I think we should probably talk about Chivas really quick and then wrap this up now.
Yes.
I'm watching the game right here.
On the road to argue about league stuff.
I got it right here.
Yeah. Just to clarify, these are our opinions. Obviously, we're all friendly with each other. At the end of the day, this just gets heated up when it comes to topics.
Heck no, I punch Louis all the time. I'm like, what's up, Louis?
You know what? Javi should be the disclaimer for everything. Every time we need a disclaimer.
Well, Live in podcast is not. Nah, everybody has.
Yes. No, you need to have recorded. That way I can just press play whenever we need a disclaimer. We need that.
That would be so awesome.
quickly, I did see a tweet that Barrero renovó por 3 años. He's currently 29, so he renovó por 3 más años.
Is he really 29?
Yeah.
Deservedly so, man. He was a beast this season. Most improved, in my opinion.
Definitely.
He is. He just turned
29.
29. He just turned 29. So
Yeah.
he's
No te vayas nunca, Barrero.
he's still in the prime of a career for a center back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving along to Chivas. Obviously, we can't say too much because it's first game. Obviously, they're coming off a loss versus Tigres.
Oh, I
in
think
the
we can.
final.
I think we can say a lot.
What? I
Do
don't
we
wanna
can
talk
say
too
so
much.
much about Chivas?
Yeah.
No,
we're
I just
long enough on this pod. So
just very quickly. You have two teams that are coming off playing in a final. One got the job done, and the other completely didn't in the most crushing and delicious way possible. It was amazing, and I think that diferencia anímica is really going to play into this match. I think also, both teams ended their season late, so both are kind of struggling to pick up the pieces of their new season and get their signings finalized and get things figured out. But I think, León is on cloud 9 from what they did, and Chivas is reeling from their failure, and I think that's gonna carry over for them and us playing at home. And I think León are definitely the favorites in this match. Also, they remember how that last meeting happened in León a few months ago.
Man.
And no, I think Leon's going to be out for blood, and I think they're gonna get the job done. And
Does Chivas
we're
have any
favorites.
players in la selección?
Well, there was all the noise about what's his name, Eric Aguirre, signing
Guti
today.
Gutierrez.
Sorry, not Aguirre. Yeah, Eric Gutierrez.
Gutierrez.
Yeah, still to be confirmed.
Yeah.
I doubt he'd be available on Monday, even if they do sign him.
Yeah, no. I think there's.
I just can't believe the league is going to start next Monday.
I know it's crazy.
I don't think there's all the talk about Pulido, and I think he's going to end up staying in Sporting Kansas City. That's my prediction.
So just to point out, Paco Vela did tweet about Omar Fernandez en busca de equipo. I don't think he's staying in León. So
I don't either. His that NFM spot is just too valuable.
I mean,
who
are they going to bring in now?
Well, if Jairo and Omar leave, then that means queda una maybe posibilidad de traer un refuerzo con peso en esa posición.
Yeah.
Some of our best refuerzos showed up late. They could be having talks with somebody that we don't even know about. They were even talking about Marino Inestrosa a while back, and that apparently never materialized.
Yeah.
But they could be having talks with. You just never know. Like Colombato, nobody knew about Colombato, and then he showed up and was instantly a key figure. So I just think having that NFM spot available is more valuable than having Omar Fernandez. That's my opinion.
Definitely. Quickly before prediction time, the new jerseys. Quick thoughts. Do we approve? Do we disapprove? For me, I just need something more creative. This is too dull for me. Although I like the black because I like black. I wear a lot of black, but something's missing. I'm take the cement dude out, but something's missing.
Cement dude is never gonna leave, Kari. I've been praying for it for like years. Cement dude is Carlos Slim's favorite logo. He loves that cement guy. Telcel is gonna be there for sure. Those are the biggest ones you see on it.
I think they're perfectly fine. They went with a less is more approach this time. They think they went a little bit too creative last time with the jerseys, the primary and the secondary. They were a little too busy. There was too much going on. This time they went the other way with it. Really, there's only so much they can do with that big Cementos logo in the middle.
For real.
So I think it's fine. I never care.
As it can get,
I just want to wear what the players are wearing on the field at any given time. I really don't care what they look like. That is absolutely not important in any way, shape, or form. They're fine. I already have mine. I bought both of them. I've got them. I'll wear the green one on Monday. We're good.
I was gonna just say I just like that the black one is black and white, kind of like black and silver, kind of Raider colors. I don't want black and gold. I don't want no LAFC colors.
The cement dude, Javi, could have been not like smaller? That. No, like monotone colors, like not the blue and the villain and the red.
In el negro se ve bien feo.
We're never gonna get rid of this guy. So
Cement Dude.
all I'm gonna say, all I'm gonna say is like,
How long has
I
Cement Dude
like
been in
the
on our
green one.
shirts? Do you guys remember?
I like the green one because it gets straight to the point. Some
I
of
like
los panzas
the-
Yeah,
verdes.
green one is nice.
The green was nice. Minus all the ads, it would look perfect. It would be, I'd buy 3 of those. The black one, I don't know what the black represents. I know the green obviously represents green bellies. The black, I don't know what it represents. It makes us look too.
Verdi
I
blancos.
don't
It should be
know.
white. I mean, historically, it's always been
Yeah.
white and green. But
Verdi blancos.
I think the first time they used the
white
black
one.
one was Matosas. Yeah, I remember Matosas said something about that when the first time they did like a black color. He's like, tradicionalmente no son los colores de León, but
Yeah.
then eventually they went all crazy, brought out a yellow one, and it's like, okay, you don't really care. But all that being said, it's just that black one, it would look nicer without the cemento red hat. It's just like you guys said, monotone and all that. Like I don't like it, but I just like that it's not black and gold, because I hate the fact that people use that a lot. And I hate the fact that during that LAFC versus León game, many people chose to bring that to the stadium. And it was like, is that guy on my side or is he on the other team side? Or should I look at him? Should I mad dog him? Or
Yeah,
I
I
give him a smile?
specifically requested that people not wear that jersey, but nobody listened.
Dude, so yeah. Aquí ya los
Yeah.
quitamos eso. Now we got to, is
What
it
they
white
should
or is it
do-
silver? Is it a little silver? Am I a little Raider?
I think it's like gray. No, it's not
Raider,
white.
baby.
White.
So I kind of like it because it's a little Raiderish.
Yeah, it's
you know?
like grayish.
I know Louis loves
Yeah,
it.
it's
The
like
Raider aspect.
it's
He loves the Raiders secretly.
It's silverish. It's like
Yeah.
your secondary jersey, your away jersey is never going to be the main colors. That's
But
just
hear me
you know,
out.
that's the way it
Why
is.
can't
It's never
we
gonna be
do-
the main
contra
Why
colors.
can't we do
Pachuca
a
en la
black
final.
one and add some greens, like lines to it? That would be different. Why can't we do something different?
Green
Well,
on the black.
I just
you get.
wanna
I mean,
know-
they have to come up with a new one every year, Gotti. I mean, we've
No.
had some that were like that. We have had some that were like that, but this one's not like that. It's fine.
I just want
It
to
really
know
doesn't matter.
if they're going to sell the one that we use at Mundial de Clubes, because it won't have nearly as many ads, and
Just
it'll
take
be
out
a
some
lot cleaner. So
Just
I just want
have-
to know if we'll
Well,
be
I'm
able to
still
buy that
wondering.
one.
I'm still wondering if they're going to come out with a special edition one just for that.
Yeah. If anything, Javi, the cement dude will be our only sponsor because it's the
No.
bigger one when we go to
It wouldn't
Mundial de
even look good.
Clubes.
Hold on, let me symbolize.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
take
look that
off-
bad, I guess.
We need Carlos to like give us like these without the logos.
Cement
for
dude's got to
next
go.
one.
I can do it.
So we can like be
Cement
like,
dude's
okay,
got
I can do it.
wear
I'll do it.
this.
I'll do it
Okay.
during the game.
Okay.
Dude, cement dude's
Cool.
gonna just have to
Um,
sell, Charlie.
Yeah. Okay. Quickly, let's go to prediction time. Good now.
Prediction time!
I hate cement.
Louis, give us your prediction. Monday Night Football. Your attendance at El Glorioso.
3-0 Leon.
3-0. Con un
Yeah,
gol
one
de
team is gonna come out looking really ready to play. Yes, they were the Liga MX club. Well, unless you count Campeón de Campeones a week ago, but they were the Liga MX team with the shortest off season because of their run to the final of Conca Champions. But you have to remember they had part of their off season, like almost a month of it before that. They weren't playing a high leverage Liga run all the way up to their final and then scrambling to pick up the pieces after, like Chivas were. So one team is going to come in. One team is going to come in ready to play with their pretemporada not quite finished yet. Both teams are coming in without their pretemporada and their signing is completely finalized. But we have two teams that aren't quite where they're going to be when it come jornada 5-6. But I think León, especially playing at home, is going to come out far readier and in a much better state anímicamente to have a good showing. And I'm not going to even beat around it this time. I'm not going to say, oh man, we're going to squeak out a 2-1. No, León will win 3-0. Book it.
Okay, 3-0. Javi, sum it up. What's your prediction?
Okay, Louis. All right. Crazy me. 4-0. No, I think 3-1 gana León. Doblete de Dávila. I think Dávila con el 10.
We didn't even talk about that. I think Davila's jersey change to number 10 is bigger news than
That's pretty.
that was big news to
right?
me. That was big news to me.
It's
A season
pretty
after Chapo
interesting.
leaves. A season after Chapo leaves and he takes his number.
Yeah, he takes.
It's a changing of the guard.
It's the end of an era in every aspect of that word. Un ciclo se cerró del 10. We're talking about a player that had that jersey for over 12 years or something. And
Yeah.
now we got Davila, who is an incredible player, and I just think he's
the face of the franchise. The
Y luego los
MVP,
goles que lleva.
MVP of the Conca Champions, face of the franchise, no doubt. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Doblete de, I'll go with doblete de Davila too, but it'll still be
doblete
3-0.
Davila.
Yeah.
I said 3-1, right? Yeah.
3-1. Carlos.
No, can I say 3-0? No.
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 I think our defense is going to come out elite. We obviously have refuerzos in la defensa. William Castillo looked incredible in that final against the LAFC on that left wing. Left back. Chivas ain't going to score on us, so I'm going to go 2-0, Leon.
I really want to change my score. I want to.
No.
Because that's what I was thinking too. But all right, 3-1.
No, you said 3-1.
What did you say, Carlos?
2-0.
2-0, okay.
I wanted to be
I'm
different,
gonna
but I like
go
3-0.
2-1. I'm going to go 2-1. And we win at home. And we rally again next week and beat Pachuca. So anyways. Okay, guys. That is it. Thank you, everybody that joined us on the comments. Arturo, Sosboy, I know, Sosboy, Sanaku, thank you for joining in the comments. Everybody that watched via YouTube and Periscope on Twitter, thank you. Let us know what your thoughts are if you guys are listening on Apple Podcasts. If you guys keep in mind, Leon will play on Monday, so you'll have a weekend starting tomorrow with Viernes Botanero game. America kicks off the Viernes Botanero, which is weird. I never saw America play an opening game of the league on a Friday. But anyways. Juárez.
Vamos Juárez. Come on,
so you guys will have a weekend full of Liga MX and wait till Monday for our Leon game. So
I said 3-1.
Yes, you said 3-1. If you guys are able to watch, don't forget to follow Club Leon EN to keep you updated with the live updates of the game. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week on another episode of the Lions Den podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this recap, and we'll see you next week.